Tony starts off this hour in North Carolina. Hi, Tony. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Thank you so much. And appreciate you guys being there. I just got back from vacation and listened to your Total Money Makeover twice and many of the podcasts. I quit watching the news and just listen to your podcast now.
Well, thank you.
It's a whole lot better than the news, too.
Well, everything is.
I'm planning. That's true. And I'm planning on signing up for Financial Peace University actually this afternoon. I just started because I just really got into this. Started baby step 2. My wife is a little nervous, but I think she's on board. 2 credit cards will soon be gone. I pay one off every month, but I heard you say something on one of your podcasts that it doesn't matter. Get rid of it because it's too easy to use, and you're so right about that. I'm working at home right now because of the COVID, but I'm starting to see the freedom that I want. I'm 68 years old. I enjoy what I do, but I think I would really like to either retire or at least just go part-time someplace. Again, I love it, but and I know the money is there, but I'm still nervous. And you say pay things off, and once I started putting stuff on a spreadsheet, it started making some sense of how much interest I was paying. Total debt, including the house, is $80,000. I know you always ask. I got $7,000 in checking account, and I have $5,000 in the starter emergency fund. I did that as soon as I got back from vacation. Now, some people wouldn't understand. I got $160,000 in mutual funds, and there's going to be another 100 coming as soon as we get rid of some property that is a family member from in the state. And it sounds like a no-brainer, but my total income right now is around 80, but that includes the job and Social Security.
So what's your question?
What I'm trying to do is just decide, is a smart thing just to go pay everything off and then sit there and then get control of expenses. And since I won't have the house, I would love to pay, move to where my grandchildren are.
Mm-hmm. Well, why wouldn't you?
I just have to get. Well, I'll tell you, the reason I haven't so far is because financial people that I've dealt with keep telling me this.
No, I didn't ask about what they think. I said, why wouldn't you pay off your debt? You got $100,000 on the way. When it comes, you could just pay off everything, and never even touch your mutual funds, right?
Correct.
Why wouldn't you?
I guess because I've been nervous about things like that because I've always worried about the future.
If I was worried about the future, it'd make me be debt free.
Yeah, you said the money was there, Tony. You said the money's there. What are you truly afraid of?
I guess it not being there in case of an emergency.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say this, from listening to your podcast and stuff, it's made me at least. I think I'm on my way to doing that, but that's why I wanted to run that by you. I know it doesn't make sense at all.
Well, if you pay everything off and you're miserable, you can go right back in debt.
That's a great point. You can always try that again. Somebody will give it to you.
Oh God, I don't think that'll happen.
You're going to be all right, sir. You are finding your way through this.
Okay, so I want to ask you this because you've done this for so long. So here he is. He's got the money, and he's still scared. If I take this big chunk of money and I pay off my house, pay off the $80,000 in debt,
which is house and everything.
That's everything. He's going, what if an emergency happens? And I think he fails. And
still got a chunk of money.
You still got a chunk of money, but you have no bills.
Well, in emergencies, it doesn't cost much to live when you don't have any debt.
Right.
So your burn rate, your survival rate is very, very low.
Yeah.
And so you can survive a long time when you don't have any payments.
Yeah, it's like you don't need it. Your emergency is a lot less of an emergency when you're debt free.
Depending on what kind of an emergency.
Well, that's fair.
But,
I shouldn't blanket that.
If it's an income emergency, that would be true. Yeah. If you lost your income or something like that. What happens in people's minds, and it's mine and yours too, and is we're drawing security from one thing, and then we start thinking about how to get to the future, and we can't see or feel the security he doesn't feel the security of being debt free like I do, because I have been for 30 years. And so he's getting security from the 168,000 in mutual funds. 100,000 is on the way. And so that is 368,000 minus 80 still leaves you $250,000.
That's right.
And so you're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. Just the question is, it's just you're transferring the sense of security to debt freedom away from a pile of cash. And that's an intellectual exercise and a spiritual and emotional exercise and all of those things. And that's the journey he's on. He's wandering down the path. He's heading in the right way.
That's so good. You just outlined it's really the unknown there. He just doesn't know it.
Yeah.
And so once he feels it.
And now, like I tell people, once you're debt free, you won't ever. If you had to pay a price to get there, if you had the crap scared out of you, now if you just got out of debt and you don't think anything about it, you'll go back in. But debt's everywhere, right? But if you went through like what we went through, losing everything, and then once we got out of debt, there's no way I'm going back. The security that gives me is greater than a pile of money.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to pile it up pretty quick, running through his numbers.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have 20 left over, right, after that 100. He could go part-time. He wants to retire. He could go part-time, take that part-time cash, and just keep stacking that up.
And there's grandbabies. I heard that. I heard him say that.
Yeah.
That's an important thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd have known how great grandbabies are going to be, I'd have been nicer to their parents.